Hey everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, reviewing for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and the movie I want to take a look at right now is The Vast of Night. Now, this one comes from Amazon Studios, and it actually hits Amazon Prime May 29th. If this is something that interests you, you should check it out regardless of what I say in this review. It is directed by Andrew Patterson, and this one tells the story of Faye Crocker, that is a switchboard operator, and Everett, who is a charismatic radio DJ, and they live in the twilight of the 1950s in a small town in New Mexico, and they both discover a strange audio frequency that could change their small town and the future forever. So yes, a alien invasion or spotting in a small town subgenre. That's what this movie is, and it sounds pretty basic and like something we've seen before from the way I described it to you, but it's actually quite different on how it's being approached. So I'll get to that in just a second. But going into this, I didn't see a trailer for it, but I am happy to review these movies if I get the opportunity to, because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was about. And so going into it, I was like, this could be a great thing, a bad thing. I just want to be surprised either way. And so I love Alien and kind of a small town, especially when it's like, pre-internet and pre-like everything. And it's, these people have no idea what's going on, and all they have is radio to kind of go by to communicate with each other. And people are seeing UFO sightings and stuff. I love that stuff. Anything science fiction like that, I'm on board. So I saw it, and I gotta tell you, it was good. And this movie's not gonna be for everybody. I want to put that up front right now. This is a slow burn. It is something that is only an hour and a half long, but it feels like this epic saga of like characters in this small town telling stories, recalling memories of alien sightings, or just what they think is going on, and just hearing these people talk in real time about what they're feeling about this approach of maybe a UFO or some alien life form. It was an interesting approach to it, and I think what Patterson does as director quite well is establish like this eerie mood that plays throughout this entire thing, because maybe besides like the final bit of the film, we don't really see anything. And I think having these people talk and act their butts off, it really feels like you're a part of this journey. You really feel like they saw something, and they convince you to a point that there is something, and you don't even see anything. And that's the power of the script and the performances, but really relying on these long takes, these slow pushing shots on these actors, and letting the scene just kind of breathe organically and happen in real time. Patterson really kind of drives home the suspense and just crawls under your skin with that approach, and just lets these long takes kind of play out, and you get really invested into the dialogue and what's actually being said. And just the convincibility of these actors is just something, it's astounding. And like I said, the approach to this story and doing it this way and having it primarily be long takes like this, it's really absorbent and just really kind of, I don't know, it just makes the story richer than it should have been. And I like I said, I like that approach. It's eerie atmosphere. It's really kind of sharp and absorbent dialogue. It's really great stuff. And I think doing the long takes really sets it apart from other films in this kind of like small town alien invasion subgenre. I did mention the script. It's really meaty with dialogue. Like I said, a lot of scenes rely on these one takes, and a lot of the performances are speaking very quickly. And, there's a lot of times where the dialogue is slowed down for sure, but it's really just fascinating. It really is, because you have these two kids trying to figure out what's going on. You have older people that kind of call into this radio station to describe some of the events that they experienced when they were kids. So they're like, oh no, these aliens are back type of deal. Really great stuff. It was like watching like an hour and a half of like a campfire story, and I couldn't take my eyes off of it. Even though like the shots are very minimal, it draws you in from the story and just the interest of the characters. Really great stuff in that regard. Speaking of the performances, out of this world, pun intended. Every single person commits. And that is not easy to do when you're doing these long takes and you got to remember this really enormous amount of dialogue like that. Like, that is just impressive on its own. But just watching these actors really kind of sinking their teeth into these roles and really feel like they, one, live in the 50s, and two, they're just curious and they want to know what's going on, and really just kind of going along this like scientific journey with these people. I don't know. I really found myself just really wrapped up into their lives, and it's frantic in some scenes. It's more slowed down, and you can feel the scene kind of breathe out a little bit. It's just everything about the way these people perform their characters was really great. Whether they be old or young, it was just really fascinating to watch. The performances are great. And once again, it goes back to Patterson really kind of understanding the material, understanding the approach he was going for, and knowing if he's going to do these long takes, you have to get the best performance out of your actors. You have to do that. If the performances fall, then the kind of slow burn approach doesn't work. But don't worry about that. The performances are really great. Like I said, it's an hour and a half long. It does feel longer than that, but I like these type of stories, so take that with a grain of salt. If you're not into the kind of slow kind of approach to stories, or like, having it be meaty in dialogue and not really a lot of action or whatever, I get that. But I just want to let you know up front, that's the way this movie is told. Because this movie does rely on a lot of what's not there. Just having people talk. Things are scarier. Things are a little bit more erratic if we don't know what's going on. And, having people tell these stories, like, it just kind of plants these images in our head of what could be, what is out there. And that is more terrifying to me. So that's why I found the slowness of it doesn't really affect me, because I like the kind of campfire storytelling approach. It's shot very well too. A lot of it did kind of worry me at first, because at the beginning of the film, it kind of had like this smoky haze on it. I wasn't really digging that at first, but I slowly started to get into it, because it does feel like you're watching this old found footage from the 50s. And it does kind of match the darkness of this town and how it's only lit by a few, street lights and stuff. And there's very minimal lights in this town. And it does kind of add to the eeriness of it, so I will give it that. But at first I was a little worried with the kind of smoky haze on it. It just didn't look right to me. But as it kind of progressed, I really got into it, and it does set the atmosphere for this really, really creepy film. So, and then other than that, all the kind of like one takes and the slow pushes and stuff, it's just, they're really well framed, and I thought it looked really, really good. So, guys, if this is something that's up your alley and you love kind of like alien type of stories, like going into small towns, I think you'll like this one. Just know that it is different and it will catch you off guard. It caught me off guard, but in a good way. I like that stuff. It's something different, something unique and fresh, and I dug that. So I'm going to give The Vast Night a B. It's a good film. Check it out on Amazon Prime if this is something that interests you. So that will do it for this review, guys. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to get all the reviews on my YouTube channel. If you're listening in podcast form on the Reel Me In: The Movie podcast feed, please subscribe to the feed so you can get up to dates on when I review anything in podcast form, and take it with you. Download it, go into the grocery store, go into the gym, driving around, whatever. It's all there for you. So yeah, and let me know what you thought of this movie down below, whether good or bad. I read the comments, even if I don't reply back. So that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.